If you pull this open, you can see that actually behind this there is a secret passage leading to the Queen's private apartments.
Just minutes ago, scientists discovered a door sealed for 1,000,000 years, potentially hiding terrifying secrets. Deep beneath the Taj Mahal, a grand marble monument built by Emperor Shah Jahan, hidden rooms contain ancient building materials. Locals report hearing strange screams and frightening noises coming from behind the door. What lurking creatures might this ancient find conceal? Join us as we investigate why the explorers who have entered the door never came back. Behind the ancient temple. Not all doors are meant to be opened. Consider the sealed chambers of the Taj Mahal. This majestic white marble monument, located on the banks of the Yamuna River in Agra, Uttar Pradesh, India, was built over a 17-year period starting in 1631. Commissioned by Shah Jahan, the fifth Mughal Emperor, it was created as a tribute to his late wife. While this story of dedication is widely celebrated, less known are the closed areas beneath the structure. What is inside these rooms? They could simply be storage spaces, or contain old construction materials that need to be kept away from the public to maintain the site's beauty and structural integrity. Turning to a different topic, have you heard of the Svalbard Seed Vault? It's not the usual end-of-the-world scenario. Located deep in the Arctic, this vault isn't for storing precious metals or jewels, but is supposedly our backup plan for survival. The Svalbard Vault holds seeds from all over the world, like a modern version of Noah's Ark for plants, intended to restart Earth's food supply if there's a major disaster. It's an impressive and somewhat scary example of human planning for worst-case scenarios. However, despite the grand intentions behind it, one has to question how effective such a plan would be in a real global crisis. Sitting at an elevation of 430 feet and covering an area of about 11,000 square feet, the Svalbard Seed Vault is a large and imposing structure located in the Arctic. Officially opened on February 26, 2008, it serves as a critical storage facility, holding over 1,200,000 copies of seed samples from almost every country in the world. These seeds are essentially backups, stored to prevent the complete loss of crop varieties in the event of major disasters or failures at other seed banks around the globe. The importance of the Svalbard Seed Vault is undeniable. It's like a safety deposit box for the world's agriculture, ensuring that no single disaster can eliminate the genetic diversity necessary for future crop research and development. This vault functions under extreme conditions, maintaining a constant temperature of 18 degrees Celsius, about 0.4 degrees Celsius, to ensure the longevity of the seeds, which are kept in a dry, low-moisture environment. This setup is intended to preserve the seeds for many years, perhaps even outlasting human civilization if serious global crises were to occur. Access is highly restricted, and the few who can enter are part of tightly controlled tours. This approach highlights the vault's role as a protective repository rather than a place of open scientific exchange or public education. It is a site of extreme caution, where the future of global agriculture is silently and coldly guarded against the uncertainties of the present. Buckingham Palace, located in the heart of London, features an impressive 775 rooms. Among these, there is a special door at 18 Queen's Palace that not everyone can access. This door is cleverly hidden from the usual public tours and the more publicly known staterooms. It's disguised as a part of the decor, looking like a mirror or a cabinet, blending in with the luxurious surroundings of the palace. To most people, it looks just like another piece of furniture. Yet, it serves a very important function for the monarch. It's a private way for them to enter and exit without being seen by the public. This setup shows how thoughtfully the palace is designed to provide both splendor and privacy. Originally built in 1703 and transformed into a royal dwelling by Queen Victoria in 1837, Buckingham Palace is more than just a large building. It's structured in a way that supports both the public functions of the royal family and their private needs. The palace includes 19 staterooms where official events are held, 52 bedrooms for royal family members and their guests, 188 bedrooms for the staff, 92 offices, and 78 bathrooms. The inclusion of private pathways and concealed doors across such a vast space is essential for practical and private reasons. While the exterior and the main rooms of Buckingham Palace are meant for display and ceremonial purposes, the hidden aspects of its design are focused on practicality. These concealed elements ensure that the daily functions and private movements within the palace are carried out efficiently and without unnecessary exposure. Every part of Buckingham Palace's design, from the public areas to the private hidden doors, serves a purpose. The public areas are designed to impress and host, filled with art and luxurious furnishings, while the private areas help the royal family maintain a semblance of normalcy and routine away from the public eye. The palace, thus, is a complex blend of public grandeur and private, well-thought-out spaces that manage the unique needs of its royal residents. The palace has numerous concealed doors and passages that are so well hidden that they remain unknown to the general public. The specific details about the Queen's private entrance are kept confidential, yet it's well known that the palace includes these hidden features to ensure the royal family's privacy and safety. These secretive designs might suggest a level of overcautiousness or even excessive concern for security within the palace's walls. Switching focus to the Hall of Records, a supposedly extensive archive of ancient Egypt's knowledge, the story becomes even more complicated. This legend, largely fueled by Edgar Cayce, an American known for his psychic claims, posits a hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx containing records from the mythical Atlantis, including historical and mythological documents of great importance. However, the actual entrance to this chamber has never been identified, leading to questions about whether it exists at all. This concept originated from Cayce's predictions that this chamber would be found and opened in the late 1990s, a prediction that has clearly failed to materialize. Despite this, each generation seems to revive the same eager anticipation for the Hall of Records. This continuous interest may be driven more by the thrill of the search and less by any concrete evidence of the hall's existence. People appear drawn to the idea of discovering lost knowledge, perhaps because it adds an element of drama and excitement to the routine of daily life. This ongoing fascination suggests a deep-seated love for stories of undiscovered halls filled with ancient wisdom, even if these stories are based more on hope and less on factual grounds. Now let's delve deeper into the tales and tombs that history has whispered about, but never fully revealed: the quest for lost Atlantean wisdom. Moreover, Cayce's predictions have spurred numerous seekers who, despite the absence of any verifiable findings, remain passionate about their quest. This unyielding enthusiasm underscores a broader human trait: the allure of the unknown and the appeal of potentially transformative discoveries. It's almost as if the search itself, rather than the actual finding, provides the real excitement. Whether motivated by a belief in the prophecies or simply the enjoyment of the quest, the legend of the Hall of Records continues to engage and, arguably, distract many from more tangible pursuits. Considering the depth of knowledge and historical impact of ancient Egyptian culture, along with the significant role played by the Sphinx in various stories, it's understandable that some people think there's a hidden Hall of Records beneath it. The Sphinx is often seen as a gatekeeper, challenging those who wish to discover its hidden depths to first solve a riddle. Constructed over 4,500 years ago by the ancient Egyptians, the Great Sphinx of Giza is an impressive sight. It is the largest statue in the world, made from a single piece of stone, combining a lion's body with a pharaoh's head, which is believed to be that of King Khafra. Khafra is also credited with building the second of the Great Pyramids at Giza. This iconic statue has sparked much curiosity and has led to many expeditions around the Giza Plateau. These explorations have sometimes found unusual gaps and spaces around and beneath the Sphinx, which continue to intrigue researchers and historians. Despite these findings, the actual location of the so-called Hall of Records continues to elude discovery, often leading to more questions than answers. To create this massive tomb, over 70,000 workers were brought in to construct an underground palace filled with these life-sized clay soldiers, all positioned as if ready for battle. This massive endeavor began almost immediately after Qin became emperor at age 13, showcasing his relentless desire to control and influence, even from beyond the grave. This tomb not only highlights his power over his people, but also his deep fear of the unknown after death, driving him to create a legacy that would last centuries. Farmers in Lingong County discovered the terracotta army near the still unopened tomb of Emperor Qin. This tomb is believed to hold not only the remains of the emperor, but also a vast collection of treasures and detailed historical records of his rule and the extent of his empire. Despite the potential insights lying within, the tomb's doors have remained shut. The decision to keep the tomb sealed stems from several concerns. The most dramatic is the emperor's alleged precautions against intruders, which include various traps. These are not merely deterrents, but potentially deadly setups intended to protect his burial site indefinitely. Additionally, the surrounding area of the tomb shows high levels of mercury. This supports historical accounts that describe the tomb's interior as having large amounts of mercury mimicking the imperial waterways, a testament to the emperor's grandeur and perhaps his megalomania. The challenges that modern archaeologists face are not minor. Opening the tomb risks damaging it, thanks to the possible activation of ancient traps and the environmental threat posed by mercury. This has led to a standoff where the safety of preserving historical sites clashes with the eagerness to explore them. As such, the tomb remains unexplored, and historians can only hope that future technological advancements will allow safe access to its private. Meanwhile, in Trantam, Kerala, the Padmanabhaswamy temple presents a different scenario. Originally built for Lord Vishnu, this temple is not just a place for worship, but also a repository of immense wealth, making it a site of both spiritual and material significance. Here, religious devotion and grandeur coexist, making the temple a unique cultural and historical monument. Unlike the closed tomb of Emperor Qin, the temple is an open book that invites both devotees and the curious to explore its riches and religious significance. The temple has been at the center of numerous legal disputes concerning its administration, which eventually required intervention by the Supreme Court of India. This led to the decision to open several of the temple's vaults, some of which had been closed for over a century. Inside these vaults, items valued at more than $1 billion were discovered. The haul included large amounts of diamonds, collections of ancient gold coins, massive silver ingots, luxurious gold jewelry embedded with various precious stones, and sculptures made of gold and silver. Among these treasures was an especially notable gold idol of Mahavishnu, priced at around $30 million. It seems like a scene from a high-stakes adventure movie. Yet, despite this discovery, there remains one vault, Vault B, that has not been opened. This vault is unique because old stories suggest that opening it could result in terrible consequences. The stories claim that this vault is locked not by ordinary means, but by supernatural forces in the form of serpents, and it can only be unlocked by a wise person who knows a special lost chant. The drama around the temple's treasure does not stop at unopened vaults or ancient warnings. It extends into intense debates over who should own and manage the discovered wealth. The royal family argues that the treasure is sacred and belongs to the gods. On the other hand, there are voices arguing that the wealth should be considered a national treasure and should be used for the benefit of the public. This debate over whether the treasure should serve divine or public purposes adds a significant layer of complexity to the already intricate story surrounding the temple's wealth. Legal battles, the discovery of incredible riches, legends of divine curses, and debates over rightful ownership weave together into a complex web of events that challenge simple understanding. The situation is further complicated by the historical, cultural, and religious significance of the items found within the vaults, making the decisions about their future not just a matter of legal consideration, but also of ethical and spiritual deliberation. The intersection of law, tradition, and modernity plays out vividly, presenting a scenario where the past and the present meet in a fraught but fascinating dialogue. As the debates continue, the community, the nation, and observers from around the world watch closely, waiting to see how this intricate tale of heritage and conflict will unfold. From hidden treasures to hidden truths, the path through history's untold stories continues. The King's Curse, Tutankhamun, and the Chamber of Secrets. Howard Carter, backed financially by Lord Carnarvon, uncovered the tomb of a young ruler, Tutankhamun, in the Valley of the Kings, with the official designation KV-62. This discovery was unusual because most tombs from that period had been robbed long ago. Tutankhamun, who became king at the young age of 9 and died before he turned 19 under unclear circumstances, was not well known until this discovery. The tomb contained more than 5,000 items, among them a golden mask that has come to represent ancient Egypt worldwide. Some argue that Carter and Carnarvon should not have entered the tomb. Following the opening, rumors spread about a curse causing harm and death to those involved in the discovery. This idea of a curse gained popularity and became a cautionary example about the consequences of interfering with historical sites. The findings sparked an intense interest in ancient Egypt, termed Egyptomania, which influenced many areas of culture globally. This period saw ancient Egyptian themes incorporated into various forms of art, buildings, and entertainment. Yet, this surge in interest often overlooked the more profound historical and cultural insights the artifacts offered. Instead, the focus was on the more dramatic elements. Critics suggest that while these archaeological finds bring to light forgotten civilizations, they also disturb these cultures and can lead to misunderstandings about history, fueled by exaggerated stories and the pursuit of profit. Carter's excavation, while significant for the field of archaeology, also brings up important questions about the ethics involved in exploring and displaying historical findings. It highlights the balance that needs to be maintained between uncovering history and respecting the past. The excitement around such discoveries can sometimes overshadow the need for careful and respectful handling of cultural heritage. Thus, while the uncovering of Tutankhamun's tomb was a milestone in archaeological history, it also serves as an example of the complexities and responsibilities that come with unearthing the past. There's a place called the Onkalo facility, which means cavity in Finnish. It started being built in 2004 and is known as the first ever permanent storage site for extremely dangerous waste from nuclear activities. Unlike ordinary garbage that might include things like plastic, Onkalo is designed to safely keep away used nuclear fuel, which is harmful for many, many years. The danger from this nuclear waste lasts much longer than most human civilizations have existed. To manage this, the facility uses strong copper containers with iron supports inside to hold the waste. These containers are placed deep underground, over 2,300 feet down, in tunnels drilled into very stable rock. This rock type was specifically chosen because it's known for not moving much, which is crucial for preventing any leaks of harmful material. After the waste is placed in the tunnels, the plan is to fill these tunnels with a type of clay called bentonite. When bentonite gets wet, it expands to form a tight seal, making it an excellent barrier. This setup is like a fortress, but for waste. It's an extreme measure taken because of the extreme danger of the material. It underscores the massive challenge of handling the byproducts of nuclear energy. These measures are taken not just for now, but for thousands of years into the future. aiming to protect countless generations from the harmful effects of today's energy solutions. Consider a particular facility designed for nuclear waste disposal, which has become a topic of debate. This site contains dangerously radioactive substances that will remain harmful for thousands of years. The site was specifically constructed to permanently contain this hazardous waste. Once it is sealed, it is intended that it never be reopened. Yet, discussions continue about whether it should be accessed again. The dangers are obvious and significant. Switching focus to the Banff Springs Hotel, situated in the Rocky Mountains of Alberta, Canada. Constructed in 1888 by the Canadian Pacific Railway, it was originally a pinnacle of luxury, attracting even royalty such as King George II and Queen Elizabeth. Today, however, it's often talked about for a darker reason. There is a particular room, room 873, which has been physically removed from the hotel. The reason? It is said that a family was tragically killed there, and subsequent attempts to clean the room could never remove the bloody handprints left behind. Despite efforts to seal off the room, strange sounds and ghost-like figures are still reported near its former location. One might expect these unsettling reports to deter people, yet there is always someone keen to explore or hear strange sounds. Next, consider Area 51, a site so ingrained in pop culture that it almost automatically brings to mind theories of aliens and covert government operations. Located in the United States, it has been wrapped in a veil of privacy for decades, becoming a breeding ground for every imaginable speculation about its contents. The entertainment industry has exploited its image, promoting it as a center for alien activity. While the idea of extraterrestrial beings is intriguing, it also highlights how much remains unknown and possibly what should not be disturbed. As we turn the page, the shadows of the past give way to the guarded hidden of the present. The mystery of Moscow's metro, too. Why can't the public go there without extraterrestrial activities or other hidden operations in Area 51? The simple reason is security. The U.S. government holds its information very closely, particularly at this location where they develop and test advanced technologies that are often confidential. Despite the clear explanations, some people still promote theories suggesting that unusual activities are happening there. If you have any unusual theories, you're encouraged to share them. Turning our attention to the Vatican Secret Archives, it is said to be a crucial repository of historical documents. Located within Vatican City, this archive is extremely well guarded. Many people place great importance on the contents of these archives, perhaps more than they should. The documents stored here cover a wide range, from ordinary letters to major orders that have influenced historical events. The sense of strict control over access is probably intended to increase its perceived importance to both the general public and researchers. This tactic ensures that the archives remain highly regarded and a focus of intense interest. This extensive collection includes official records, financial ledgers from the papacy, letters, and various historical documents detailing the actions and decisions of the Catholic Church over many years. These items provide a detailed account of the Church's administrative processes and religious commands. Contained within these walls are documents critical to significant historical events, such as the legal proceedings against the Knights Templar in the 14th century and the original transcript of Galileo's trial for heresy. Additionally, personal letters from prominent figures like Michelangelo, Henry VII, and Mary Queen of Scots are preserved here. The archives also include different versions of the Bible that were not widely adopted. Despite the extensive and valuable nature of these documents, gaining access to them has historically been a challenge. For a long time, these records were kept away from the public. It was only after Pope Leo XIII decided in 1881 to allow researchers into the archives that some level of public examination was possible, though many restrictions were still in place. This decision suggests that the Church preferred to keep a tight grip on what historical information was available to the public. The notion that certain documents in the archives might significantly alter our understanding of history is intriguing, However, the reality is that any particularly groundbreaking information is likely still heavily guarded, accessible only to a few individuals with special permission. Thus, the archives act as both a storehouse of knowledge and a fortress of controlled historical information, where the public's knowledge is meticulously managed. Even with the opening of the archives in the late 19th century, it is not a place where just anyone can enter and browse. The Vatican continues to enforce strict rules about who can see what documents and when. This highly selective access raises concerns about how transparent and open the Church is willing to be when it comes to allowing external scrutiny and historical investigation. The archives, therefore, not only document the past, but also shape the understanding of what is shared and what remains hidden. It currently allows people to see documents from before Pope Pius V, who passed away in 1939. Those who wish to view these documents must go through a strict process, proving they are serious scholars by showing their academic credentials and specifying which documents they need to see. This strict screening is said to be necessary to protect old and fragile documents and to keep sensitive information under wraps. The renaming of the archives was likely intended to clarify that the archives aren't hiding any forbidden knowledge. Nonetheless, the change in name has hardly stopped people from believing that the archives hold groundbreaking information that could change our understanding of history and what we believe about the world. Beneath the active streets of Moscow, there is rumored to be a system called Metro 2, deeper than the well-known Moscow Metro. This supposed underground system has captured the attention of those who enjoy discussing and investigating undisclosed truths. Despite widespread belief among some groups that Metro 2 truly exists, there has never been any official acknowledgement from the Russian government. It has appeared in the writings of past Soviet officials and even in a report from the U.S. Department of Defense, yet the Russian authorities continue to remain silent, neither confirming its existence nor denying it. This silence keeps the discussion alive among those intrigued by the possibility of hidden layers under the urban environment of Moscow. Metro 2, reportedly built during Joseph Stalin's era, was intended for the use of the Soviet leadership in the event of a nuclear threat or other grave disasters. Officially coded as D6 by the KGB, it is rumored to link vital national centers, including the Kremlin, the Federal Security Service headquarters, and the government airport at Vnukovo, along with a fully underground town at Ramenki. This network was allegedly constructed to be entirely self-sufficient, featuring everything from bunkers and extensive ventilation systems to multiple command centers, enabling prolonged underground habitation. Despite these claims, no solid evidence confirming the existence of Metro 2 has ever surfaced. The lack of confirmation has not deterred numerous people, ranging from eager urban explorers to determined journalists who have sought to locate and map this concealed system. Their ventures typically result in encounters with hastily closed-off passages and unwavering denials by officials, yet this does not seem to discourage their efforts. And now, a club nobody wants to join. The underground tales of the Black Dolphin Club. Black Dolphin Prison, officially known as Penal Colony No. 6, is a place best avoided. Situated in Russia, it serves as the holding facility for some of the most dangerous individuals. Their actions have been so grave that they test our understanding of what it means to be human. These inmates have committed acts so severe, they seem to defy the basic instincts of animals. The name Black Dolphin originates from a facility statue, symbolizing the impossibility of escaping. The prison operates under a very tight security regime, meticulously designed to minimize any form of risk. Prisoners are confined to small cells, securely locked behind 3 layers of steel doors for 23 hours a day. They are granted only 1 hour to move around in a small, enclosed space. When these inmates are moved, their motions are heavily restricted by a method referred to as the swan, ensuring they are always under strict surveillance. This facility represents the extreme measures of containment and observation. Transitioning to a more cultural but still troubled setting, the Lascaux caves in France tell another story. Discovered in 1940 by Marcel Ravida after his dog Robot sniffed out a hole caused by a fallen tree, these caves are an archaeological gem. The walls inside are covered with over 600 paintings and 1,500 engravings that depict large animals like deer and bison, which roamed the area in the Upper Paleolithic period. These art pieces are a glimpse into the artistic expressions of early humans. Initially, these caves were open to the public, allowing anyone to come and see the ancient artworks. However, the presence of large crowds altered the cave's environment, leading to the gradual deterioration of the art. Despite various protective measures, the damage was unavoidable, resulting in the eventual closure of the caves to the public in 1983. A replica was created to allow people to view the paintings without harming the originals. This situation highlights a classic case of good intentions leading to unintended negative outcomes. Then there is Disney's Club 33, contrasting to ancient caves and high-security prisons. Created by Walt Disney in 1967, this exclusive club was originally intended for the corporate sponsors of Disneyland, but has since become a symbol of luxury within the theme park. The cost of joining Club 33 is exorbitantly high, with initiation fees ranging from $25,000 to $100,000 and annual dues around $15,000. Membership grants access to special areas, unlimited immediate entry to all rides, VIP tours, and special event tickets. This club embodies the pinnacle of privilege and exclusivity in a place otherwise meant to be a magical and accessible experience for families. These examples, from the strict security of Black Dolphin Prison to the delicate preservation issues at Lascaux and the exclusivity of Club 33, illustrate various human efforts that sometimes lead to paradoxical results. Each case shows how extremes are pursued, whether in security, cultural preservation, or leisure, and how these efforts can diverge significantly from their original intentions, often complicating the very issues they aim to address. Bohemian Grove started in 1872, initially created by journalists from the San Francisco Chronicle. It was first a gathering place for creative individuals like artists, writers, and musicians who wanted a break from city life. It quickly turned into a private club for some of the most powerful men in America. Every July, they meet there to relax and talk about various important topics. The club is known for its strict entrance rules and heavy security. Only certain people are allowed in, and they have to be invited. Room 39, reportedly started in the late 1970s under the leadership of Kim Jong-il, is said to be a key financial tool for North Korea's leadership. It is thought to generate money to ensure the loyalty of the country's top people by giving them expensive gifts. The existence of Room 39 is not confirmed and might be kept hidden to avoid international scrutiny and difficult questions. The smallpox vaults contain some of the last samples of the smallpox virus, which was a deadly disease eradicated in 1980. These samples are kept at two heavily guarded facilities, one in the United States at the CDC in Atlanta, and the other in Russia at the State Research Center of Virology and Biotechnology. These locations are fortified to prevent the virus from escaping and to allow safe research on the disease. The reasons for such intense security are clear. The potential release of smallpox could be disastrous. The Fabergé eggs, created by the House of Fabergé from 1885 to 1917, were luxurious gifts from Russian czars to their family members. Out of 69 originally made, 57 still exist. These eggs are incredibly valuable, with the most expensive one sold for $251 million. They are stored in the Preston Fabergé egg safe, which has advanced security systems to protect these valuable items from theft. The security measures include biometric access and climate control systems to keep the eggs in perfect condition. Mezhgory is a secretive town in Russia, similar to the American Area 51. It was made public only a few decades ago and is inhabited by military personnel and their families. It is rumored to house a large underground facility designed for military purposes or to protect against nuclear attacks. The exact activities and purpose of Mezhgory are not disclosed to the public, and the town is monitored heavily. These locations and organizations are all closely guarded. Whether it's a private club, a financial operation, a medical research facility, a vault for precious objects, or a military town, they are all protected from public access and oversight. The reasons for such protection vary from maintaining privacy, national security, or preserving valuable historical items. These examples show the lengths to which groups or governments will go to keep certain places and information out of public view, often leaving the wider community curious but uninformed about the activities that take place behind closed doors. What hidden might lie within these heavily guarded locations? Share your thoughts, hit like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more.